Magandang tanghali po, oras na para sa maiinit na balita. Nagsagawa po ng press conference ang Malacanang para iulat ang pinakabagong sitwasyon sa Mindanao na nasa ilalim pa rin ng martial law dulot po ng pagpasok ng Maute Group. Ayon kay Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella, sa pinakahuling tala, 11 ang patay na sibilyan dahil po sa bakbakan. Habang 61 mula naman po sa Maute Group ang nasawi. Mahigit 12,000 pamilya ang inilikas na sa Region 10 at ARMM dahil naman po sa kaguluhan. Si Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana ang naatasang maging administrador ng martial law sa Mindanao. Tuwing Lunes, Miyerkules at Biyernes, magbibigay po ng update ang Malacanang tungkol pa rin sa pinakabagong sitwasyon sa lugar. Pakinggan po natin.
Civilians rescued, 390.
Receive any information of that sort, and from the reports that we gathered last night, there was nothing that mentioned anything about it. So it must have been fake.
No information din, sir, about several Maute members being able to enter Metro Manila, ganyan.
Wala pa rin. Wala pa rin.
Yes, sir.
Ted Tuvera, microphone.
Good morning, General. General, how do we deal with the threats coming from the CPP in Mindanao as they have ordered the NPA to intensify their operations against the military?
Well, the readiness posture of our units out in the field has not changed. Handa naman po kami kung ano man po ang mangyayari dyan, lalo na kung manggagaling sa mga lugar na kinaroroonan ng mga armadong elemento ng NPA. At katunayan, itong mga nakaraang araw, may mga pangyayari na naganap. May mga panunubok ng pagsugod sa ilang kampo, may ilang attempted assassination ng ilang mga tauhan natin na bahagi naman ng mga dati pang nangyayari. Kaya yung kahandaan natin tugunan kung ano man ng mga magiging armadong opensiba nitong mga grupong to, handa naman po tayo. At ang nangingibabaw dito is yung pangangalaga ng seguridad ng mga nasa bayan natin, mga kanayunan natin at yung mga nasa malalayong lugar. So that is our primordial concern, to protect our people and keep the security in all these areas.
Sir, are we also monitoring the operations from other groups such as the BIFF, sir?
Oh yes, we are. The BIFF has been part of this incident in Marawi. They have been providing some sort of support, and they in fact have tried to cause some diversionary activities in the areas where they are right now.
Thank you, sir.
Christine, to be followed by Ms. Roscos.
Sir, in the President's report to Congress, the primary basis for martial law is that the attack has deprived the Chief Executive of his powers to enforce the law in the area. How far are we from correcting this situation, especially now that you said that we are in full control of the city? I mean, what are the factors that we are waiting for to say that we can lift martial law?
Yes, the restoration of law and order is one of the most important consideration, along with any remnants of resistance within the city. In the absence of any more resistance, there is no reason to have our presence there, but just to keep the security, and we will transfer the control of the city to our civil authorities. But we will work closely with them to ensure that the security of the city is not compromised. So those are the two most important elements that we see as non-contestable and non-negotiable.
Sir, but we are in full control of the city right now, so meaning we are...
We are in full control, meaning to say we can control who comes in and who comes out, who moves around and who doesn't. And we're trying to isolate all these pockets of resistance that have remained. And in the aspect of the operations that we are conducting, it may seem that these are big activities, but there was a need to do surgical airstrikes because of strategically placed enemy presence. So we cannot do otherwise, because if we do not employ combat power as we needed it and saw it fit, we would prolong the clearing process, and we would endanger more lives, both civilian and military.
Sir, can you say how many % are we done with the clearing process? Are you allowed to say that?
I am sorry, I do not have those figures, and I would hesitate to give you a figure right now.
Thank you.
Ross?
Good morning, sir. Sir, ano po ang recommendation ng AFP sa recent statements ng Pangulo ini-encourage ang MNLF, MILF, and NPA forces to be soldiers and join in combating terrorism, sir?
Yan ay panawagan ng Pangulo. I think na ginawa na niya noong araw pa na magkaisa na lang tayo, labanan natin ang ng united ang mga naninira ng ating bansa. Kasama na dyan yung mga armadong elemento na to. So, we have been successfully a partner of the peace process in regard to the MNLF and the CPLA. And in that peace process was an integration mechanism of former fighters of the MNLF and the CPLA into the armed forces. If such a mechanism is employed for the benefit of the MILF once we are done with our talks, then so be it, because these are all welcome developments that we have been doing with the two previous talks that we have had with the MNLF and the CPLA. So hindi po ito bago. Ito po lang ay pag-i-encourage sa ating mga kapatid na nasa kabilang panig na kausap natin na makisanib puwersa na po sa buong pamahalaan at makiisa po sa buong taong bayan. And truth to tell, karamihan po ng mga na-integrate sa atin, na mga MNLF fighters nung araw, mga bayani po natin sila. Marami pong nagbuwis ng buhay para po ipagtanggol ang kanilang mga lugar at ang kanilang mga units at ang kanilang mga kasamahan. And I can name a few, yung isa doon, yung isang karpintero na tumutulong sa Mamasapano, nagpapako ng bubong sa ibabaw, ini-snipe ng isang BIFF. Muslim po ito, kapwa Muslim po at napatay. Bayani po natin yan. At ang kanya pong hangarin sana ay makatulong dun sa kanyang mga kababayan dun sa lugar ng Mamasapano, pero winakasan ang kanyang buhay. And so many others in Jolo, in Basilan, in Tawi-Tawi, and other parts of Mindanao who were former MNLF fighters but who have shown their mettle as warriors and as true heroes of this country.
Also, I'd like to add to that, the offer of PRRD came after Governor Miswario wrote offering support. So, he sets an example of rising above self-interest to close ranks against a brutal foreign enemy, the ISIS, which is both anti-Islam and anti-Filipino, and thirdly, anti-humanity. So we appreciate that. It all depends on between the AFP and MN to how to best operationalize the offer. Thank you.
Sir, hingi lang din po ng update kung meron pong mga lugar sa Mindanao na naka-lockdown, particularly sa Lanao del Norte. Confirm lang po namin kung may naka-lockdown po sa area na to, sir.
So far, yung terminong lockdown naman ay hindi naman talaga lockdown na wala na makapasok, wala na makalabas. Ang ginagawa lang po kasi ng ating mga security forces ay sinisigurado lang na ang nakakapasok at nakakalabas is yung mga law-abiding citizens natin at wala pong mahahalong mga masamang elemento. So kung kayo po ay law-abiding at nararapat lang po kayong magsagawa ng pag-travel sa ibang lugar, kung ito naman po ay may pruweba at hindi naman po dapat kayo harangin, hindi po kayo harangin.
Okay, Henry Uri?
General Padilla, is there any report of possible presence of any member of Mauti in Metro Manila and in some parts of the country?
As I mentioned to one question earlier, there has been no concrete information that there are.
Yusek Banag, can I ask you also a question? Yun yung mga nasisirang mga property, of course yung iba may mga insurance, ano ho? Paano yung mga ordinaryong mamamayan na nasira ang bahay, nasira ang tindahan, walang insurance, in the course of war, paano po ito tutulungan ng gobyerno?
Well, since may NDRRMC tayo, i-assess po ng ating local government units sa munisipyo muna kung kakayanin. And kung hindi kakayanin, since may calamity fund naman tayo, kung kakayanin. Pero kung hindi kakayanin, the provincial government and the national government may look into it kung paano. However, they cannot restore, like you have a 24 million story building. And isa lang yan. But government will find a way to appropriate funds in order to help reconstruct lives after all this.
So ang malinaw po ay may aasahan silang tulong?
That's, I suppose, manggaling yan sa ating gobyerno. Kasi nakita naman natin na wala namang, hindi naman nila ginusto ang nangyari.
So, paano ho yung proseso? They have to coordinate with NDRRMC or paano po?
They have mechanisms sa DSWD. So the LGUs have mechanisms insofar as these are concerned, and the provincial local government units have mechanisms on how to go about with helping out yung mga nadamay sa kaguluhang ito.
Alright. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Makaraig, AFP. Microphone, please.
Good morning, Brigadier General Padilla. Sir,
Good morning, Ai.
you mentioned the surgical airstrikes. The local government is saying that there are 2,000 civilians trapped in Marawi due to the fighting. How is the military ensuring that they do not become victims? Because the local government is saying they are fearing for their lives, that they will be hit by the airstrikes. And do we have the military hardware for this? Because I recall the president saying he wanted to ask Russia for precision-guided bombs to ensure that, civilians are not caught in the crossfire. Thank you.
First off, yes, we do have the expertise. We do have the people to man equipment, and we have the equipment to do surgical airstrikes. Please do not underestimate your soldiers. We have been into this fight longer than any country in this part of the world and in anywhere else. And we have and proven ourselves many times over. Now, on the aspect of the safety guarantees that can be given to residents in the area, as we have pointed out in the report that was given to you in the PowerPoint, there are over 390 persons who have been rescued. And that is a priority of the military, always, to lessen the collateral damage. That means to say loss of innocent lives and damage to property. In the aspect of determining what to hit and what not to hit, I already mentioned this in an earlier answer to one question. If there is the presence of the enemy in these certain areas and it is impeding movement of our armed elements to come in, we do consider eliminating that resistance in the least amount of force that can be applied. So if it calls for a surgical airstrike of some sort, then we will try to make sure that we only aim for that particular point of resistance and nothing else. And we are capable of doing that. And in fact, we have successfully been doing that. So if there are innocent lives, I guess at this point, I cannot answer you because we have not been able to inflict any harm on civilians. And that is why we call on them to work with us, to cooperate with us, because we initially want to get them out before we do strike.
Okay, last two questions. I'm sorry.
Sorry, just another question, sir. Our team in Marawi has been getting reports, they've been interviewing witnesses and residents who say that the Maute group, the militants, have been asking people to say Muslim prayer, allegedly, and if they are not able to recite this, the people are killed. Have you received similar reports? Can you confirm it?
Yes, we received similar reports. I guess this was the same source of information that you are citing. We cannot corroborate that because most of those that we can ask have already been killed.
Okay, last two questions. Tuesday New, DZBB to be followed by Dexter Ganibia. DZM.
Hi, sir. General Padilla, sir. Sir, nasabi nyo kanina na yung 390 civilians or residents ay na-rescue na. Paano po ang ginagamit yung pamamaraan para matukoy na hindi sila kasali doon sa Maute na hinahunting natin? Ano yung characteristics na tinitignan sa bawat civilian na ini-inspection ninyo para masabi na hindi sila kasama sa mga terorista?
May sinusunod naman po, pero hindi ko mailahat dito kasi malalaman ng kawilang panig. May sinusunod naman tayo itong proseso at itong proseso na to ay reliable naman. Bukod sa sinusunod natin yan, may iba pang pamamaraan. So I leave it at that without unduly revealing any of our procedures.
And follow up lang, sir. Ilan pa po bang civilians yung kailangan nating ilabas sa Marawi City para makapag-full military operations na po doon?
Tulad ng sabi ko, nasa ilang bahagi na lang sila ng syudad. So hindi namin na-expect na maging malakihan pa yung operasyon. But be that as it may, we are ensuring and we would like to ensure that the innocent civilians in the area are vacated. So we are doing this through a door-to-door kind of effort. through messaging through our civilian friends, through the local government who are actively supporting and helping our forces. So, kontrolado po ng local government ang Kapitolyo, ang munisipyo, at wala pong nawala sa kamay ng pamahalaan na pinagkukunan po ng pangangalaga ng buong syudad. So, yan po ay gumagana at patuloy na gumagana.
Salamat po. Dexter?
General, good morning. Sir, nung bago magdeklara ng martial law ang Pangulo, as target ng surgical operation si Isnilon Hapilon dahil sinasabing nasa loob ng Marawi. Ano pong balita po sa kanya sa ngayon?
Sa ngayon, may impormasyon at naniniwala kami na nariyan pa siya at maaaring ito ang dahilan kaya ang pagdepensa sa mga ilang lugar ay nagiging matindi. So,
So, sir,
yun lang po ang masasabi ko sa
Hanggat nandiyan siya, sir, talagang hindi ililat
Nasa interes po ng bayan, nasa interes po ng bawat mamamayan ng Marawi na makuha po siya.
Last question, Tina Panganiban, GMA 7.
To anyone po. Sir, do we have any estimate of damages or losses from like trade, businesses, tourism, property, infrastructure over the past few days na na-enforce na po yung martial law?
We don't have those statistics since it's been physically impossible to enter the place. But as soon as we can, we will also supply the added information. That was the last question, and we'd like to just reiterate the schedules. The schedules for Mindanao Hour are MWF, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. And then Tuesday, Thursdays, we'll have the regular press briefing, but with short updates on Mindanao. Okay. And Saturday, Sunday, we'll have Mindanao updates through Radyo ng Bayan. Okay. So again, let me repeat. MWF will have the regular Mindanao Hour at 11 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday is regular press briefing at 11 a.m. also, but will include short updates on Mindanao. And also Saturday, Sunday, also at 11 a.m. through Radyo ng Bayan. And we'll be supplying the same things. I will be supplying the vetted information. Anything else?
Do you accept another question?
All right, sige, quick questions.
Sir, sorry. Sir, I just would like to confirm if the President will push through or cancel his trip to Japan.
There's no official word as of this moment, but we can come out with that sometime tomorrow.
Sir, meron na po ba tayong name kung sino yung possible na i-appoint as a spokesperson in Maranao?
By the way, let me just clarify that, okay? That person will simply relay information that has been coming, that has been released from here, and will release it in Maranao. All right, okay? All right. Okay. Come again. It's basically for Maranao people, Maranao-speaking populace. In other words, there you go. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you. Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson Ernesto Abella.
Thank you
Thank
very
you, AFP Spokesperson Restituto Padilla. Thank you, ASEC Marie Banaago.
At yan naman po ang isinagawang press briefing ng Presidential Communications Office sa media patungkol pa rin sa pinakasariwang mga nagaganap pa rin po sa Marawi at sa kabuuan ng Mindanao. Kanina ay naiulat nga po ni Yusek Ernesto Abella na nasa 19 civilians na ang nakumpirmadong patay. 15 dito ay mula po sa AFP, 3 ang pulis, 61 sa hanay naman ng Maute. Sa patungkol naman po doon sa kung mayroong lockdown, sinabi naman ni Brigadier General Restituto Padilla na wala naman daw silang ipinapatupad bagamat masinsin ang kanilang ginagawang operasyon at tanging mga may lehitimo lamang na mga business kumbaga para pagpasok sa Marawi ang kanilang pinapayagan. Dito naman po daw sa Metro Manila ay wala pa rin konkretong impormasyon silang natatanggap na meron ng Maute dito po mismo sa Metro Manila. At patungkol naman doon sa 2,000 mga trapped civilians na nangangamba sa kanilang mga buhay dahil sa isinasagawang surgical airstrikes, sinabi ni Brigadier General Restituto Padilla na hindi dapat mangamba dahil meron daw expertise at kapasidad ang kanilang hanay para maprioridad ang pagsalba ng buhay, ganun din ang damage sa property. At ang kanyang panawagan sa mga sibilyan, makipag-cooperate sa kanila para maiwasan ang ano pamang mga hindi magandang pangyayari. At sa ngayon, kontrolado naman daw ng AFP ang City Hall maging ang Kapitolyo.